Hey guys, how are you? Just wanted to jump on, talk about this new moon in Sagittarius, and also we're moving into December, so I'm going to be checking out your personal tarot scopes as well. So I'm hoping that you're going to join me for that. And I'm going to get some notes up. I've made a few bits and pieces here for you, so I'm going to sort that out as well. So Mercury went into shadow, guys, don't forget, on the 24th of November. And around this same time as this new moon in Sag, he also moves retro at 8 degrees into Capricorn the same day. It's the same day. So Venus is entering Scorpio as well on the 4th. We've got Neptune stationing direct, 24 degrees Pisces. And we also had Capi as well, that lead planet for Capi was Saturn. He's moving direct now in Pisces. He moved direct last month. On the 21st, obviously we're well into Capricorn season then, we're into the winter solstice. So that last full moon in Gemini for some was very illuminating, yeah, and for others life-changing. Either way, it's brought us to that junction where we do realise now that things do need to change in order for us to flourish and live that best life, and Capricorn season, Scorpio season in general, brought to the surface all that needed to be reflected on. Anything that needed to be renovated, overhauled, transformed, looked into, and ultimately healed in order to continue that sort of evolutionary journey that we're all on. So that heavy Mars conjunction in Scorpio is less heavy now. Obviously, he's moved into Sag. And it's going to be less heavy on the head for us, certainly. Sagittarius is freeing us up from that sort of heavy psychological pressure that a lot of us were under. Changes for some may have been quite abrupt this year or forced upon us sometimes, unexpected events. But for others, it has been a much slower burn. Now, Sagittarius season is bringing that mix of mutable fire and water with it. And I spoke about this in the Gemini full moon report, so if you didn't catch that, guys, might be worth you going back to check that out. Of course, the full moon is this evening, which is why I'm wanting to complete this and get this up for you. So Neptune's waters, as I said, they are beginning to flow direct, very spiritual energies, but also very nebulous energy. It's quite foggy, don't forget. And the Saturn in Pisces, although he is direct, he's still slow. So he's not being as restrictive. So, and he's not majorly aspected either here on this new moon. Yet it is still important that we stay grounded. Pisces fog can be difficult to navigate, don't forget. It's like going up the M1 in a snowstorm and you put your lights on, full beam on, and you get diffuser light coming back. I've often talked about this, so it can still be a little bit cloudy. Mars entering Sag definitely wants us to be proactive for sure, but it's important that we're still cautious in our approach to something. So it is a much more optimistic new moon, certainly, and it is urging us to implement the changes that we've been sort of working through. And it's also that time maybe to have that truthful dialogue with ourselves, that inner, note to self, or others. Okay, so it is important that we be proactive with whatever it was that we've sort of defined now, and are still defining in order to restructure life. The writing was definitely on the wall for a lot of us since early summer, really, that things needed to change. And so Mars here in Sagittarius, it's that intuitive call of the wild, if you like. So yeah, with Mercury entering Capricorn on the 1st of December, so he's there already at the beginning of the month. It does allow for a more structured communication, and our words are going to be a bit more direct and concise, if you like, all the refining that we've been doing. And we certainly are going to be asked to refine when we talk about Mercury, of course, because as I say, he is moving into retrograde, stationary retrograde, the same day, the 12th of December, as we've got this new moon in Sagittarius. Now, I wanted to talk about Venus Yeah, romantic Venus. On December the 4th, she's going to be moving into Scorpio. Now, Scorpio energies can be secretive, right? But also a time to have that very deep and soulful connection. And although she can add a bit of flavour to our love life and the money areas as well, with Mercury retrograding back here, we can revisit to sort of reinforce and underpin the plan, if you like. It's important that we do trust and keep the faith, though. Trust for me and acceptance of certain issues in life, that's very Pisces, it's very Neptunian. So if that conversation or that situation hasn't quite found its moment, this may well be a time where we can hit that truth button and sort of activate things at this point. But more complicated issues around relationships and money, they may take a while to filter through. We should remember that. And it is important to see the wider view and remain tempered, right? Don't forget, Temperance card is Sagittarius in the tarot. So it is important that we remain tempered and we remain calm and we deal with it. This is what Libra energies ask us to do. And of course, Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. So let's be calm and we'll deal with it accordingly as and when. So, as I said, the fog has not dispersed completely. So it is important we keep those lead boots on. We do stay grounded. There can still be some uncertainty, certainly, and self-doubt. Remember, Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So take advantage of this Mercury retrograding into Capricorn cycle and check in to that and redress and reassess. It can be frustrating with Mars really wanting to push on, but this practical sort of level-headed Cappy, the Capricorn energy here is asking us to be level-headed and to make a plan bomb-proof, literally. And if we need to reshuffle the timelines in order to secure that new future and get over the finish line in 2024, check back in if you need to. All your mutable signs, you're going to be most definitely feeling it, I think, quite strongly. But this Venus into Scorpio, I wanted to pick up on this because Venus in Scorpio here on the 4th, by the way, Venus here can be quite secretive. You know, if you know anybody with Venus in Scorpio, you may not get the full picture. You know, they can be quite deep, and there may well be a need to still really examine your relationships. Okay, but also your bank balances. Don't forget Venus rules Taurus, which is how we keep a roof over our head, how we pay the bills. So anything to do with contracts, bank balances, shared asset. Certainly with Scorpio energy, there is taxes, all sorts of things, and there could be things that are coming sort of bubbling up still from the surface with this Scorpio energy. So we may still be uncovering something in order to refine those details around where we want to go, the relationships, the money, and so on and so forth. And just very quickly, I just wanted to tag on because I'm going to finish soon. With Venus in Scorpio, we do need to be a little bit careful. I mean, it can make us a little bit hot under the collar, very sexy energy, very sensual energies. And it may well be that in life you thought that you'd found the one. Well, if you feel now that you haven't, or you're dispensing with that, it may well be that you are going to meet the one. But I feel with Scorpio energy, it's sort of ancestral. It's, for me, it does talk about history in its own way, and it may well be that history, your history or the other's history or the situation, it may get in the way of something that we need to do, and it may well be that we need to work on that. And how can I put this? For instance, if you are moving on to a new relationship, it I feel in the Scorpio energies, and I often say this, Good sex is a really bad drug if you're not in the right relationship. Okay. And you need to be wary of that on just a little bit wary of it on one level. So see the bigger picture, and that's what Sagittarius energy is asking us to do. And don't forget, Jupiter is in full bloom in the sky at the moment. He is again going to move direct in Taurus, and that's going to be happening on New Year's Eve. So, it's taking us almost into January, but he is going to be starting moving direct as well. So there's some good energies coming, guys. But still be cautious. Don't be rushing headlong into something. Saggy is very much like that. It just wants to be as philosophical and as free and liberate itself, and that's absolutely great. And Uranus, by the way, is also going to move direct. So talking about liberation, all right. So yeah, we've got a fair bit of that going on too. So it's coming. But it hasn't been the best year for a lot of people. It has been difficult. It's been very, very pressured, and things are often forced upon us. And it's these trials and the tribulations of life, really, that sometimes we have to go through. Now, not everything is dark. Everything at the end of the day can be unbelievably opportunistic, lots and lots of good stuff coming, which I certainly feel it is, but it's how we handle it. So as you're moving through December, as I said, enjoy it. By the time we get into Capricorn season, into January, yeah, that's a different vibe as well, but I'm going to be talking to you about that. So now I'm going to get the tarot scopes up. I apologise, they have been late. I've had a few problems with my throat of late. There's a Mars in Pisces. So, my immune system's been a bit up and down. So enjoy December. Have a great Christmas. And I will see you just before the new year. Take it easy. I'm now going to do your tarot scopes. So if you want to check in with those, it'd be great to hear from you. And thanks again for subscribing. We're almost at 550 now, really pushing for the new year to whack that up to about 600. That would be great. So please don't forget, if you can, to like and share the video, and subscribe if you're checking in for the first time. Take it easy, guys. I'm sending you loads and loads of love, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye now.